Hey everybody, this is Marie Jones, your perfectly posh frontline advocate from Richmond, Virginia, and also owner of Posh Paper Perfection, where I create cards and 3D images from paper. I love paper so much. I've been actually been designing graphics and paper designs since 2016. And so I'm really excited to share with you this tutorial on how to make mini chip bags. This is the mini chip bag that I will be sharing with you how to create. And you can see that the top is not filled and the back, it looks like that. Okay, and I don't have it totally glued down yet, so we'll be doing some gluing on that, and I will share with you about the crimping style. So this is the very first video of how to make this. If you followed my blog, I give you all of the supplies that you need and links to the supplies. Very, very easy. I put Gender Bender in here because Gender Bender is charcoal, coal. Hello, and it's a nice, refreshing Christmas present that you can, stuff in somebody's stocking or give it to a coworker or a friend or whatever. And I also like to pair it up with a body butter, which I will be putting some fresh creamy milk body butter samples in there with Laycons. And if you don't know what a Laycon is, they're these little tiny plastic containers here that I just scoop some of the moisturizer in and put it in there. Now with this 4-part series video, I want to let you guys know that if you're not technologically savvy and you don't want to do the design process, you can skip over step 1. But if you do not have a color printer and you still want to use this, you have the option of taking the PDF version that I will be sharing on my blog page and sending that off to Staples. You can give them your photo glossy paper, tell them to cut it in half after they print off that image for you, and then you're ready to go on to step 3. Okay, if you don't want to do that either, and you are wanting me to create it, then we should have a side conversation in that. It's all based on availability, but that is, I think, your best bet, especially for you poshers that are real full-time poshers and you need like 100 of these. Your option is probably better to take it to your local printing source and give them the paper and have them do that and pay for that service. I don't do that. I print off everything myself. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on to step 1 of designing your bag. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to click on the Canva template link that says mini chip bag, and go ahead and save that to your computer. I use Canva Professional, okay? And what I did for you all was I created a template for the very first page. So when you see this template here, everything is locked except for to your left, some of the elements that are over here, okay? It has the specific size of the top and the bottom, okay? So this 8.5 by 3/4, those are your crimping areas, and you're going to use your crimper, okay? And it's important to have that so you don't have your design going on over the top or over the bottom. It's just so much easier when you're assembling it. Okay. And then the back of your bag is going to be 2.25 inches by 5.5. Okay, and this portion here, you will go ahead and design this. Okay, you'll put your elements on there and everything. For me, I left what the bag looks like so you know what it looks like. Okay, but we're gonna go back to designing this to share, you know, like some fun things that you can do. Okay, if you don't want to design it from scratch. Okay. This barcode, this barcode is something that you're going to have to update. Okay. To update the barcode, all you have to do is click on it. And when you click on it, you're going to see, hello, going to see this URL update code. Now this may only be for the professional version. So if you don't have the professional version and you have no way of building your own code, you just want to go ahead and take this out and maybe put in a fake barcode. Okay. But I like to do barcodes and have a landing page or send it specifically to my Perfectly Posh website. So the consumer, if they really like it, they can scan it and they can go to my website and purchase it. Okay. I have instructions here. Okay. And you can change the instructions if you want to. They're all grouped together. Let's see here. Okay. And then the greeting, you can change this greeting here to make it small or big. You can just pull this arrow out or in. Okay. And you can also change the orientation if you don't want it, you know, diagonally. This little circle here, you can go ahead and turn it. Okay. Let me go back here. This is the back button, my favorite button. Okay, the most important thing for you to understand is everything is locked. Okay, this whole thing is locked for a reason, so that you know how this chip bag is designed. The only thing that's not locked is this white square, which is a 4x4. And I put in here, and hopefully this makes sense, but this section is not locked. So when you start creating your front of your chip bag, okay, that it's all centered. Okay, and as you can see here, when I have this chip bag, it, you know, it's perfectly centered. Okay, the sides are, you know, and that's because of this template. Okay, so you will eventually want to cover up this white part. Okay, but you know, I did not lock it because I wanted you all to have something to center your graphic and your words and all that stuff. Okay, now let's get on to the designing. Okay, here is the design, not locked. Okay, let's scoot that back up. And, you know, it just helps me have a gauge of where my elements should be. As you can see that on the left-hand side, these elements are not centered. And the reason why they're not centered is because after printing, because I have a borderless printer, and even if you don't have a borderless printer, I should say, because I don't have a borderless printer, and even if you have a borderless printer, this still applies to you. I need to make sure that one side folds under. Okay, so you see how this has the white part here. Okay, you can see that the white part, that's the margin, and I cut the margin off of this portion and put it together. Okay, so you don't want to have it perfectly centered, because if you have it perfectly centered, then you're going to end up covering up something. Okay, all right. Let's see here. When you're creating your fonts, your greening or whatever, and you have many different designs, just make sure, because I mean this is like I think 4 or 5 different fonts. Just make sure, and can I ungroup? I'll ungroup for a second. Just make sure when you're doing this, okay, that you're just holding down your shift button and highlighting all of your words. Okay, so these words here, they all need to be centered. So I'll just go like this, hold it down, and then go to position, and then center. Don't go to middle, because middle will make them all scrunch back up. Okay, they'll all like be stacked on top of each other. But now I know that this is centered, and I'll group this, and then these here, I just make sure it's centered by the middle here, and then here, and then I will group all of that together. Okay, and then as you saw here, the bottom, you have the crimping of the bottom here, and the crimping of the top up here. Okay, so what I did was I got a bow, and I put it exactly where this lines up. Okay, and the same thing here, and I try to make this rectangle the same size, although it's a little bit smaller, but it's okay. But that is to help me know that this is still the bottom of the bag. Okay, now why am I sharing this all with you? Because if you're going to make these chip bags are not just for Christmas. You can use them for any season, any occasion, a Mother's Day gift, a Valentine's gift, maybe a New Year celebration. You want somebody to bring in the new year by giving them a facial routine, okay? I will say that these mini chip bags, they are 4 by 5. So it's not going to hold a whole product. If anything, it will hold a lip balm. All right. But it's too small for the face mask, and it's too small for skin sticks. If you want to have it bigger, then there is, you would make this template in an 8.5 by 11 horizontally. Okay, the same concept except horizontally, and I do have a template for that that I may share at another time. Okay, so we all like to be different and unique, so there is a possibility for you guys, and I would encourage you guys not to use the same design that I'm using, and just switch it up. And how can you switch it up if this is all, movable, and stuff like that? Okay, well, very easy. You just change the background. Okay, but how do you change the background without moving all the templates, right? Okay, so what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up duplicating the page here. Okay, or you can just go straight to this one if you want to use this design. And over here to the left hand side, there is a menu, and we have elements, And I like to do burlap sacks. So I'm going to search burlap. Okay, and we got all kinds of burlap sacks. Okay, so I will say see all. Okay, and let's just say I really like this one right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and you got to be careful when you are dragging this onto the image, because if you drag it onto certain ones, you'll change it. You see how that changed? You don't want that. So just make sure it kind of looks transparent. Okay, and then drag it all the way outside of the box, just to make sure that you have all of it. Okay, and then you want to layer and bring to the back. Okay, so send to the back, and I'm going to use the commands. I'm using a Mac. It's different on a PC, but it's the same. You can use your commands, or just keep on going to right click, layer, send to back. Oh, we don't want to send it back. Don't send it back. Send to backwards. Okay, so undo, layer, send backward. Okay, and just keep on doing that. And so I'm just doing the command, and that's how I'm doing this. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it. And now you have your own design, you know, with a different background than mine. Okay, and you can print that off. Okay, really cool. Okay, so then once you are done with that, then the next step is for you to print off your design. Okay, and you're going to print off your design from your downloaded design. So what you're going to do is, we're on page 2 here. Okay, and you can title it, and I would say this mini Santa coal sack 2. Okay, and then you would come over here into share, download, and don't hit download. If you have one page, that's fine. But if you have multiple, don't do that, because it'll download everything. You want to uncheck all pages, and then you're on page 2. So you can go current page, which is page 2, and download. And so now it is printing that off. And let's see here. I'm going to... So you can see right now, the mini Santa coal sack 2 is right there. And it's went to my downloads folder. And because I named that page, it automatically gave it a name, which is fantastic. I love that, love that. Okay, so we still have one more thing to do, okay? And that is to make the 8.5 by 11, okay? So what we're gonna end up doing here is we're gonna go to Canva, and we'll go up to this ellipsis, and they'll say home, and create a new design. Okay, this always kind of trips me up when I see this, because I'm like, where am I supposed to go? Okay, so the easiest thing for you to do is just to do I think it's flyer. Yeah, flyer 8.5 by 11, and click on that. Okay. And that should bring you to a blank page. Okay. I like to make this black just so I can see it. Okay. And then on uploads, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can drag this. I think you can drag it. Yeah, you can drag it onto Canva and then it automatically uploads. Okay. Right? And now that it's done, we're going to click it once. We're going to click it, before we click it twice, we're actually going to delete that. I'm going to take this and put it to the corner and drag it out. Okay. And then you're going to do Control C or Command C and Control V or Command V to paste. Okay, so what you're doing is you're copying and pasting. If you're a right clicker, you can do that too. Okay. And then I like to highlight both of them, go to position, and make sure it is centered, and it is. Okay. All right. So now this is ready to be printed off. Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. We're going to go over here. I'm going to download. Okay. And this is only one, so it's not going to show you any more pages. And you'll just go download. Okay. And then now it is right here. Okay. If you wanted to have the mini Cole Santa sack, you could do that. I would say 8.5 by 11, just so you don't have two conflicting file names. All right. So now that concludes the designing portion, and now you're ready to print. And I'll see you in the second video.